Number 10, the phantom phone vibrate. You know that feeling. Your phone is in your pocket. You're just mindlessly scrolling through a grocery store aisle or sitting in a long meeting, and you feel it. A subtle, familiar buzz. You instinctively reach for it, pulling it out only to find the screen is completely blank. Nothing. No text, no notification, not even a spam email from that one company you can't unsubscribe from. This isn't a one-time fluke. It's a recurring micro-horror story for pretty much every modern human. This isn't a glitch in your phone's software. It's a glitch in your brain's hardware. Your brain is a super detective, and it's constantly on the lookout for patterns. It has learned that a certain kind of pressure or movement in your pocket means notification. So, when it's bored, it starts trying to create its own action. It misinterprets something as simple as your pants fabric rubbing against your leg or a tiny muscle twitch as a buzz. Basically, your brain is so desperate for stimulation that it starts making things up. It's like a bored kid in the back of the car, kicking the seat and whispering, "Are we there yet?" even when they know the answer is no. This phantom vibration is your brain's pathetic attempt to throw itself a surprise party. Number 9, the lure of the unknown button. Walk into an empty elevator. Look at the wall of buttons. Now find the one that says emergency or alarm. You know you shouldn't press it. You know exactly what's going to happen. A loud, horrible siren will go off, and someone will start yelling at you through a tinny intercom, probably asking if you're trapped and if you need an ambulance. And yet, for a brief, thrilling moment, you really, really want to press it. It's a completely useless, socially awkward, and potentially embarrassing action. But the impulse is there. This is your brain on boredom. It's not just a physical thing, it's a primal psychological drive. Your brain is a novelty-seeking machine. It wants new information, new experiences, new chaos. When you're standing in that boring silent box of a lift, your brain starts looking for anything to make life interesting. That emergency button isn't just a button. It's a portal to a new, exciting, and potentially humiliating reality. And your brain, like a toddler at a birthday party, can't resist. It wants to know what happens if you just push the button. It's a small, harmless act of rebellion against the crushing weight of mundane reality. Number 8, risking it all for a story. Have you ever been in a totally boring situation, a family dinner, a mind-numbing lecture, a late-night grocery run, and found yourself doing something ridiculously stupid just to have something to talk about later? Maybe you accidentally set off an alarm, or told a wildly inappropriate joke, or tried to climb something you shouldn't have. And in that moment, as the adrenaline spiked, you weren't thinking, "Oh no, this is a bad idea." You were thinking, "This is going to be a great story." Our brains are wired for narrative. We are a species of storytellers. We crave a beginning, a middle, and an end, with a little conflict thrown in for good measure. When our lives get stuck in a flat, uninteresting middle, our brains will literally create conflict just to spice things up. It's the same psychological engine that drives people to gossip or start drama. You're not just living your life, you're generating content for your own personal movie. And a good movie needs a little action. This explains why some of your most embarrassing moments are also your funniest stories. You weren't a clumsy idiot. You were a bored content creator, desperately trying to write a better script for the evening. Number 7, the weird noise impulse. You're in a quiet room. Maybe it's a library, a waiting room, or a really fancy restaurant. Everything is silent, the kind of silence that feels heavy and oppressive. And then, for no reason at all, you get the insane urge to make a weird noise. A little hum, a high-pitched squeak, a random syllable like blorp. It's not a real urge. It's not something you'd ever actually do, but the thought is there, whispering at you from the darkest, weirdest corner of your mind. This is your brain's last-ditch effort to snap out of a catatonic state of boredom. Our brains thrive on sensory input. When that input is a flat line, like the sound of absolutely nothing, your brain will try to create its own input. It's like a computer program that has been left to idle. It starts running little background processes just to prove it's still alive. That tiny, ridiculous noise you want to make isn't just a random impulse. It's a tiny, absurd scream for help from the deepest part of your psyche. It's your brain saying, "Please, for the love of all that is holy, give me something to think about besides the texture of this chair." Number 6, The misery of the wait. Waiting in line is a special kind of torture. It's not just boring, it's an existential crisis in slow motion. Think about it. You're a complex, thinking human being, and all of your vast potential is being wasted on a task a statue could accomplish. Your brain goes into a kind of low-grade panic. It's starved of input, so it starts to create its own. You might start people-watching, but not in a friendly way. You start making up elaborate, insane backstories for the person in front of you. You decide that the lady with the sunglasses is a secret agent, or the guy with the weird haircut is a time traveler. You might start counting things: the number of tiles on the floor, the number of people wearing blue shirts. Your brain is desperately trying to impose order on a chaotic, pointless situation. This is a survival mechanism. Our brains evolved to be problem solvers. When there's no problem to solve, they start looking for one, even if it's just trying to predict what kind of socks the person behind you is wearing. The misery of waiting isn't just about losing time. It's about your brain being held hostage by its own nature. Number 5, the need to fidget. You're sitting perfectly still, but your hands have a mind of their own. You start tapping your fingers, bouncing your leg, or clicking a pen over and over. You're not trying to be annoying. You're just trying to not lose your mind. Fidgeting is a direct physical manifestation of your brain's battle against boredom. It's like a tiny escape valve for your restless energy. The small, repetitive movements give your brain just enough sensory input to keep it from completely shutting down. It's a way of telling your nervous system, hey, I know this is boring, but we're still here. We're still working. We're still alive. And it's not just a subconscious habit. Studies show that fidgeting can actually improve memory and problem solving. It's a way for your brain to engage a different part of itself while the conscious mind is stuck in neutral. So the next time you see someone tapping their foot during a meeting, don't judge them. They're not being rude. They're just trying to keep their sanity intact. They're basically giving their brain a tiny, repetitive high five. Number 4, the search for a distraction. You're stuck in a waiting room with nothing to do. You've already checked your phone a dozen times and there are no new notifications. So what do? You start looking for something, anything to occupy your mind. You read the fine print on a fire extinguisher. You count the number of magazines that have been left behind. You try to guess the brand of the air freshener. This isn't just about passing the time. It's a desperate cognitive need. Your brain, in its natural state, is an incredibly busy place. It's processing a constant stream of information, from the temperature of the room to the subtle sounds of the hallway. When you remove all that external stimulation, your brain starts a frantic internal search for something to latch onto. It's a bit like a shark that has to keep swimming to breathe. Your brain has to keep thinking to function. So, when there's no interesting information coming in, it starts looking for it in the most mundane, insignificant places. The next time you find yourself studying the cracks in the ceiling, just know that you're not a weirdo. You're a survivor. Number 3, why you zone out while driving. You've been driving for an hour on a long, straight highway. You're not thinking about anything in particular. You're just driving. Suddenly, you snap back to reality and realize you don't remember the last 5 miles. You're not a bad driver. You've just experienced something called highway hypnosis. It's your brain's way of coping with a repetitive, low-stimulation task. Your conscious brain has decided that the act of driving is so boring and so predictable that it doesn't need to be in charge anymore. It hands the reins over to your subconscious, which is perfectly capable of keeping the car on the road and reacting to basic traffic. Meanwhile, your conscious mind goes on a little vacation. It starts a slideshow of random thoughts, daydreams, and half-remembered memories. It's the ultimate form of mental multitasking. Your brain is so good at running on autopilot that it lets a part of itself just check out. This is a powerful demonstration of how much your brain hates being bored. It will literally invent an internal reality to escape a boring external one. Number 2, the urge to self-sabotage. Imagine you're on a diet and you're doing great. You've been eating healthy for weeks. You're feeling good. And then, for absolutely no reason, you find yourself staring at a giant bag of potato chips, and you can practically feel a little demon on your shoulder whispering, Just one. What could it hurt? Before you know it, you've eaten the entire bag. This isn't just a lack of willpower, it's a form of self-sabotage that's often a direct response to boredom. Your brain is so tired of the routine, the discipline, the same old, that it decides to inject a little chaos into the system. Breaking the rules, even rules you set for yourself, is a powerful form of stimulation. It releases a little hit of dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical, that you were missing. It's like a bored teenager breaking curfew just for the thrill of it. You're not a bad person. You're just a person whose brain is so desperate for a plot twist that it's willing to create a whole new conflict. Number 1. The obsession with unimportant details. Have you ever found yourself in a long, tedious meeting, and instead of listening, you become fixated on something completely irrelevant? The way the speaker pronounces a word, the strange pattern on the carpet, the fly buzzing against the window. Your brain is latching onto these tiny, insignificant details because they are the only source of novelty in a completely sterile environment. This is your brain's last defense mechanism against utter mental collapse. It's a way of saying, if I can't have a new and interesting thought, I'll just obsess over this one weird thing until the misery is over. This explains why we notice so many mundane things when we're bored. It's not a superpower. It's a desperate cry for help from your cerebral cortex. It's a little bit pathetic, but it's also a powerful testament to just how much your brain hates being bored. It will literally choose to be fascinated by lint on the carpet rather than suffer through another minute of monotony.